Once you've created a file, you may want to send it via email. In Linx, this can be done by using the email plugin. The email plugin allows us to read emails and send emails. For this example, we're going to send an email by using the send email function. This function will allow us to send emails to a SMTP server for distribution to recipients. Here we've got multiple properties to set, which mostly can be set dynamically. We can set the subject, we can set the body in two ways, either by doing simply a text body or an HTML body. Text body is very simple and straightforward, whereas your HTML body can be a lot more customizable. Both the text and HTML bodies can be defined dynamically. Next, we need to define our attachments. Attachments are defined in a list. This means that you can have as many attachments as you need, depending on your SMTP server limitations. We're going to attach this product export CSV file. These attachments can also be defined dynamically, so you don't have to necessarily know what the attachment file is beforehand. Next, we need to define some credentials such as the username, password, SMTP host, SMTP port, and so forth. I've created a setting for each one of these properties. Settings are essentially global variables that you can use throughout your application, and you can set them and customize them on your server. Let's set each property to its corresponding setting. You can set a priority and a timeout, and then also the two CC and BCC recipients. These can also be a longer list of recipients by simply separating them with a semicolon. We also need to set the from, SMTP server, whether or not SSL should be enabled, as well as the port. Once all of these properties have been configured, we are now ready to test. To do this, simply debug the application by going into debug mode and then run the application. We'll be sending the email to this email account. When I debug this application and run the function, the email will be sent. And there we go, the email has been received by my email account with the attachment. This function becomes extremely useful when you need to distribute a file that you've just created. For example, you just created an Excel file that's a report that needs to be sent out to users. As soon as it's created, you need to email it to those users. It's also important to note that files do not have to be created with links in order to be sent via email. You can send any file as an attachment. To learn more, go to linx.software.